are live.
All right, we're backing out from 415 Southeast Baublits. I can't remember how to. There we go. I'm going to back into this very wide alley space. Demonstrate just how easy it is to get around in most of these alleys. So, as you can see, everything in the alley is dry. Kevin shoot down there and span, and now we're going to go out the opposite side.
And we just were able to see the pod pedestal, power pedestal.
The power pedestal, right. There's that distribution pedestal that is sitting at the ready behind 415 Southeast Baublits that a bunch of people could hook onto. We're taking a left onto Baublits Court, headed roughly west, southwest. Now we're taking a left onto Southeast Baublits Drive, and we're going to head towards one of the bigger problem areas in the bayou. Our driveway at 413 Southeast Baublits, where that turquoise mailbox is typically the turnaround point until the water gets past that, and then it becomes this driveway at 415. Span around, Kevin. Span around to the driveway. Is then the turnaround point. So we've already right now this is passable by things like sanitation trucks. The sanitation truck did very gingerly make its way on the left side here. I don't know, Kevin. I'm not going through that. What do you think? I'm not performing theater here.
Tahoe will go through.
Okay. So just to show you guys that we're not, this is nothing, okay? This is de minimis of our bayou being out after a de minimis storm with very little rain from a tropical storm. So taking the turn onto Southeast Kailash, typically this water will flood homes 3 and 4 up in a real hurricane, in a very bad tropical storm. So again, just to emphasize, whoops, I overshot it. There is the alley that we just came out the other side of. So when it floods, it will go about all the way up to that gate. I think in Sally, it reached about up to past that outbuilding with the pinkish shutters is our residence at 413 Southeast Baublits, but it recedes down from the alley as quickly as it can, given the choke point of what is behind us.
There were waves during Sally at what we're looking at on the camera right now.
Right, there were waves in yeah, all the way up into the alley, but then it immediately recedes. And the roadways stay blocked. Now, we haven't been around, so we don't know where all is flooded. I'm going to go to the next spot that is typically impassable. I don't know whether that's out, because it seems like the boat ramp is a section that was pretty hit by this storm for some reason. And I will mention that, as you remark in the previous video that Kevin took, I think we've already passed high tide. So this is another section of Southeast Baublits coming off of Gilliland. Yep. Can you span all along here, Kevin? Don't just go straight. Please try to panorama this. So I'm going to turn back around so that we can panorama. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this alley, which may look like it is part of this house's driveway, but it is not. They have their driveway, but this is actually a perfectly passable ROW. And we're going to swing into this alley. So we're running parallel right now to that section of Southeast Baublits where the bayou's out. It's always out there. Can you swing to the side, Kevin, so we can see the extent? And again, to emphasize, this is nothing for after a storm. This is about the least amount of flooding you're going to have for anything that is a very low-level tropical storm. And we don't even need a tropical storm. Sometimes we flood worse than that off of just a regular rain, dependent upon what the tidal conditions are at that time. So again, this is one of these alleys that are impossible, apparently, to underground in. And even in the tighter spots, there's no reason that some of that precision equipment couldn't be used that we've located online. That is, I'm going to move this stick, Kevin. That is, can go in spaces even less than 10 feet, and even spaces less than that, of course, can be in very short sections hand trenched. Can you grab Annie?
Yeah.
Nope, you're going to stay in the car. Mom's just moving a stick, baby. Over. Are we still? Do we have any? Well, we don't have water view on this house. And obviously, this greenery should be a little bit more cut back, but I have no doubt that Commissioner Kohler will be happy to help us step that up a little bit. Oh, wow.
No.
We did lose a tree.
No, that's brush
that's
they had.
been down?
No, that's all cut down.
They cut that?
Yes.
And
These guys have been blocking the alley
and left it in the alley.
Yeah, they keep
Wonderful.
blocking the alley first thing in the morning.
So we're going to call that in. I don't normally call in code complaints, but that's going to get called in. One thing that I do call in code for is when people block these alleys. Should have already been called in, Kevin.
I talked to them about it.
When did they say they were going to move it?
They say that they clear the alley before they go home. They've been parking all their trucks up there.
Well, maybe they got surprised by the storm. It was not surprisingly a bit more degree than the weather was predicting. Did this street flood in Sally?
There was water.
This is Kailash.
There was water right where we are. This is Payne.
Oh, this is Payne.
This
right.
is Payne.
Sorry.
There was water right to this point during Ivan.
Okay, now we are headed towards the boat ramp on Circle. And I got some pictures from a neighbor that this was very high this morning. For this area, but it looks like the water is already receding, which is not surprising. It wasn't much of a storm. A little bit of the boat ramp is underwater. that's probably about all we're going to see for today on this storm. I'll head over to the other side of Baublits. Northwest Baublits. I'm going to swing by that little tree, Kevin. We'll see whether he made it. Probably should have gone over and reinforced his. I'll go ahead and be very careful not to provide evidence of a speeding ticket right here. Taking a quick detour to check on a tree that we donated to the park. Yeah, he's looking a little rough, but he's still there. So we're going to cut through Plus Landing. Actually, I should take the alleys through Plus Landing. Take this back alley, Kevin?
This back alley dies.
Well, but I mean, does it dies to 7 feet. It doesn't die.
It dies at the mailboxes.
What do you mean it dies? It can't die. It's an ROW. So I mean, if we have to back out of here, we can. I mean, if you're saying it's not being kept up, that's one thing. But this is the property that I unfortunately had to hire land use attorneys to fight off incursion of taking this alley by the developer. So right now we're still squarely at 15 feet. There is up here around the turn. So the reason that they were able to slow down and get on the grass. The reason that they were able to build this road so far out is there is a single section of this alley right about where we are right now, and all of this greenery should be cut back by the county. And again, we will communicate that to Commissioner Kohler. This is a vacation right here that took the alley down to 7 feet. Kevin, show pan like where it is. This is can you show the length of it? This is a very short stint. We're at 7 feet, and then we are back to 15-foot ROW. Now, this is an interesting section. This is where the county literally let a developer put a stop sign in the middle of an ROW. So that needs to be moved. I've been promised that it would be moved for a long time. If I had the Jeep, I would get around it, but I'm not. The Tahoe's too big. Panning down that alley, that is also a 15-foot ROW that you're looking at to work with. So just to articulate a little better, the developer's original survey claimed that they owned that alley space, which of course they did not. And so we demonstrated that. Unfortunately had to do it with the help of a land use attorney. But this is coming back around Plus Landing 15 feet, except one of the problems here is FPL put their poles in the ROW in a couple of places along this line. Kevin, can you shoot from this direction? This is that 15-foot ROW on the western side of Plus Landing. Oh, that pole has been moved. Good. That used to be that must have been a temporary pole. That's great. There used to be a pole here that made the alley passable at about 8 feet on the opposite side of the alley, and thankfully that's gone. we are coming out of the alley on the southern side of Plus Landing now, and I'm going to head roughly north to check out Northwest Baublits, which by this time, if it had been out at all, I'm imagining it's probably already receding. We'll cut straight through Plus Landing this time. Wow, this is going west on Cusino. This is another big problem area. Doesn't come up as high, but this road will also be completely underwater after a more serious storm. As you can see back there, the bayou is out a little bit. There's a drainage pipe that passes from underground and goes through a swamp area onto the beach that is not in great shape. So most of that drainage spills out the holes on the sides of it and contributes to the overflow. Here we're out again. So keep in mind, this is not a demonstration of the extent of the flooding we get. This is simply a quick walkthrough of what some of the problem areas are. This section will all be underwater after a more serious storm. We've got that. There's another problem area, but I don't think it's going to be today in front of Susan's, Dave and Genevieve's. This is back on Southeast Baublits. Headed roughly east. So, there we go. It is coming out a little bit into the park. This is an area here where, let's see, so as high and dry as this looks right now, all of these houses were destroyed by Sally. And unfortunately, an elderly gentleman on, I think it was this property right here, David Genevieve's, the original house, was stuck in the house, completely flooded out, couldn't get out at all, and he did pass away. And so all of these houses here, as high as they look, all sustained severe enough storm damage. You know, some of that, quite honestly, was the problems with the insurance companies, but those houses all, when they were the original Navy Point houses, took water. the most it's been. This is about a 3. But you can see, it's really a good thing we didn't get more rain, because even in an almost rainless tropical storm, completely bizarre, it's already way up over the shoreline. And here, it's still making inroads. A little bit more wind, another couple inches of rain, and it would be up over this road. As we're driving, take note that the alleys are a little bit higher ground in most places. If you can oh, we've got a car behind us. I can't back up. I was going to ask you to take a shot into the higher ground of the alleys back here. And that water's got a good more distance to go to have to get back into those alleys. This is a notoriously swampy alley, still higher ground. It will flood. And then recede. So how are we doing out here? That is probably as high as we're gonna get. I don't know, I didn't check the tide tables. Looks like it is already receding. You can tell by the vegetation line. The debris line, rather. Okay, that's the end of the tour.